Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for another episode of the Kerbal Space Program. And we are just going to go straight over to the launch pad where the engine module is currently sitting there waiting for us. We were successful, or I was successful, in locating the mod that removes the tower. So, yay! As soon as it loads up here, you'll notice that. And there it is. There we go. Okay, as you can see, the launch tower is non-existent, which means this craft is not going to randomly explode as soon as it tries to spawn. It's still awfully squishy up top, which again worries me. I fear that the whole thing may just simply squash in on itself as soon as I launch it. But full throttle anyway! Nope. Oh my, whoa. Holy crap nuggets. Holy, nope. End flight. Not going to work. Space Center. Okay, so I clearly should have strutted those. Oh, that was the... Oh, God. Engine module. Oh, and yes, I did misspell that horribly. I'm surprised nobody noticed. And or pointed that out. Yeah. Anyway, structural components, strut connectors. We want our triple symmetry on here. And we're going to simply connect you to you. Correct? Did that do anything? Double symmetry. Why did that... Oh, right. All that did was double symmetry, which means I'm going to have to go around and do every single one of them. Oh, dear. Alright, so we're going to want here to here. Alright, we'll do 2 struts on each one. I think. 2 should be sufficient, right? I hope so, because I don't really want to go and do more. Or maybe I do. Right, okay, that wasn't as bad as I was expecting, so let's do the third one. From there to there. Come on, there we go. And hang on. Do I want to do it? Can I do it from here? Oh, wait, right here. No, definitely not. How about here? Come on, can I get the angle? You're not gonna cooperate, are you? Wait, that may be the right angle. Close enough. Okay, and now we've got one more. Where is it? So you're done, so it's gotta be you. No, you're done too. Wait, did I already do them all? I thought I only did like... Oh, you know what? Whatever. Whatever, man! Alright. Do I have I do. I'm going to do 1 on these outside ones. Just because that launch was... Well, let's be honest, it scared the shit out of me. I'm surprised even Jeb maintained his composure. Oh well. Alright, now we're going to save this as proper engine module name and try to launch it again. Clear and proceed. Now then, come on, baby. We got a very heavy piece of junk that we're trying to get up to the Kerbal station. So, yeah, this should be very interesting. Alright. Oh, there it goes being all squishy again. Ah. That's gonna bite me in the ass later. Whatever. Maximum power. Lock in the SAS, because the only engines that are even gonna bother trying to gimbal here are these 3 on the bottom. And launch. Oh, that's a lovely 7 FPS you have there. Did I bring any SES? brought an SAS, but I didn't bring any advanced SAS. I probably should have brought some advanced SAS. Because those engines aren't gimbling, are they? No, I don't think they are. Oh, crap. We sure... Right. Here I go, not paying attention. Drop off the first section of fuel. I'm apparently doing my gravity turn. Already. Even though I don't want to be. I'm tempting to yank it back over, but it's not cooperating. I may need to add fins. More engines and fuel tanks gone. This thing is flying surprisingly well, all things considered. But the fact that it's going over like that is a very bad thing, and I cannot bring it back up. It's just not going to happen. Now those can go. Now we're on the big tanks. Alright. Alright. End flight. Vehicle assembly building. Bugger! And I thought I had it, so well. Alright, so first of all, we need an advanced SAS in here somewhere. I'm gonna take you off, and I'm gonna smack it right there in the middle. Just like that. And all the struts and suspension attached properly. That is good, good, good. I don't know why it's all squishy, but it makes me unhappy. So what I'm going to try doing is I'm going to put some struts from here. Can I get them all the way up onto this thing? Probably not. Yeah, no, see, that's not what I want. But the question is, where is it being squishy from? Is it from there? I don't know. I honestly don't know where all the squishy is coming from, but I really, really don't like it. Alright, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to strut from here up to this thing on the 6 nose cones here. And see if that makes any difference. If that gets rid of the squish, then that should be a pretty clear indicator of where exactly it was coming from. If it doesn't, then unfortunately that means that the connection is somewhere, it's between this fuel tank and this thing here, which could be a problem. It could be a big problem, actually. Okay, well, let's launch it anyway and see what happens. Clear the launch pad and proceed. Come along. Come along, you great big turd rocket. And I completely forgot something. Oh well, let's test and see if that eliminates the squish. It about half eliminated the squish. So apparently it's a combination. Alright, so the connection from there to there is actually rather soft as well. I may simply want to abandon it and put one of these there instead. That might work better. In fact, I think I'm probably going to do that. Yeah, Space Center. I think that's going to be what we do. Oh, no, I didn't want the Space Center. I wanted the Vehicle Assembly Building. Smooth. Come on. There we go. That's a big-ass rocket, and it takes a long time to load. Sheesh. Alright, so first things first. All these struts have to go away. Because they won't work if I... Yeah. And then... Are you guys up here? You're up here. Alright, that goes away. And now snag you. And remove this. And put this on there. Now then, let's see if that works better. Hopefully this will be less squishy. Again, I'm still going to do the maximum symmetry of struts from there to there, like so. Because this thing is always a wet noodle. Alright, save. And you know what? Let's do some struts from here up to this thing. Because I can. And I'm fairly certain that that will actually help. You know, fairly certain. I can never be sure with these things. This program, the Kerbal Space program, is insane. Save, launch, clear launch pad, and proceed. Alright, let's try this again. Yes, I am nitpicking on my spacecraft here because I wish to remove excess squish. Yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. Anyway, yeah, I know this thing is pretty excessively heavy, and these extra engines are probably unnecessary, but I need them. It's gonna have to move the whole dang station. Okay. Maximum power, and I forgot. Dang, nabbit. Ah! Fuck it. SAS on. Maximum throttle. Alright, let's go. Okay, now hopefully we'll stay better centered this time, but it's always difficult to say. Only about 50. It's got some pretty good acceleration, all things considered. And away with you. Yeah, no, it's tipping over really bad again. And flight. Vehicle assembly building. I know how I can fix this. I kind of don't want to, but I know how I can fix this. We'll take some radial decouplers here. We're going to stick 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on, like so. And then we're going to go into aerodynamic, and we're going to grab... no, I'm pretty sure it's just the standard canard is what I'm after here. Yeah. We're going to put 4 standard canards, like so. That should fix our little issue here. We'll have to jettison these later, clearly, because we don't want to bring them with us onto the spacecraft, but that shouldn't be a problem. What we'll want to do is we will want to jettison them at the same time that we jettison this. So I'm going to crawl up the list here. Now, where are you for? You for. Okay, and now where is this thing? It's right there. Okay, so simple enough. Just drag these into 3. And now this thing and these 4 should jettison all at the same time. Right? Right. Alright, that ought to do it. As long as I've got the advanced SAS and the regular SAS installed on this thing now, it should be able to go straight. Clearly, we are not going to get to the docking procedure in this episode. That's going to have to wait for the next one because it is taking far too long for me to tweak this thing to the point where I am satisfied with its launch. Oh well. And maximum throttle. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Somebody told me this does something. Or no, wait. This thing? That? Oh! Oh my god! It's what I've been looking for so long. Oh, I've been looking for that control for so long. Thank you so much, whoever it was that sent that message to me. That is awesome. Oh yeah. Alright, SAS, maximum throttle, and away we go. Now, are you going to be capable of keeping this thing on the straight and narrow? I hope so. I'm not sure that it is, considering the fact that it's currently at maximum. Stop trying to go this way, and wait, we just switched back. It may actually have succeeded in keeping me going straight. Okay. And away with the first tanks. This is good. And it uses so very little fuel, too. I do like that. But on the flip side, it also produces half as much power as the Rocco Max. I'm not sure if it's an improvement or not, but it works. That's what matters. Alright, away with you. We are slowing down. Well, I suppose that's kind of technically to be expected, if I'm completely honest. We're still in the very thick atmosphere, and we're attempting to ascend at almost 77 meters a second. We're experiencing a significant amount of wind resistance at this point. So there goes the last bit of engines, and now we are losing speed rather quickly here. Not a good thing, but I think we're going to be okay. I'm pretty sure that, again, that's just because we're experiencing excessive amounts of wind resistance. So yeah, as you can see, we're slowing down, and we're accelerating again in the upward direction. This is good, this is good. I think we're going to be okay. At least I hope we're going to be okay. Like I said, this thing really is just stupid heavy. Alright, burn, baby, burn. Our direction of travel is slightly to the left for some reason. I wonder why that is. I don't know. Okay, so we really haven't descended very far, and we're going through fuel tanks like no tomorrow. There goes more, and again, we're slowing down again. Oh. Why are you not on? Why have you not been running this entire time? Is that why this isn't working? And flight. Vehicle assembly building. Okay, so we've established why this entire thing is failing so miserably. For some reason or another, these central engines here are not in the appropriate location. They're all the way up here. What are you guys doing all the way up here? You're supposed to be in this section. Huh. Oop, back out a little bit here so I can see what's going on. These four are just these four, right? Okay, and then we got these four up here, and then everything else should be in the first stage, right? Right. Okay, so that may explain why I was having so much trouble. There was a lot of dead weight in there that wasn't doing anything. Clear the launch pad and proceed. Let's try this one last time. Come on, baby, we can make orbit. We can, we can. Do-do-do. There we go. Wait for it to load. Blah, 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 blah. And those four fins were sufficient at getting us balanced and everything, so that's a good thing. Although we may actually not need the fins now that these gimbling engines are going to be active. Whatever. Away we go. Oh, that took off with much more gusto. This is... I have a good feeling about this. I have a feeling. And it is good. Okay, I think this is going to work a lot better. Glorious 5 FPS though, now that I'm running with the additional engine power. Away with you. And that's just because this thing is way too big, way too many parts, way too many engines. Just, yeah. But that was kind of to be expected because the engine module is going to be the heaviest and the biggest and the most complicated section of the space station. So it's no surprise that it is also the laggiest. Alright, so we're about ready to dump some more fuel here. We're continuing to accelerate again. Dump those off. We decelerated briefly, it appears, on this stage. But not bad at all. We were able to then quickly resume accelerating before we even got to the 50% fuel consumption point. Resources tab here. And then you go away. Alright, now we did begin decelerating at this point, but we're much higher than we were last time. We're going much faster than we were last time, and we're back to accelerating while only getting down to 88.5 meters a second. So this is a much more acceptable launch than our last one. hopefully we will be capable of reaching orbit with this. I'm going to remain a tad skeptical if I'm completely honest here. It's a bit much. I may have to switch over to a Rockomax stack, at least partially, but we'll see how that works out. We're about ready to dump off our first stage here, getting very close. And our fuel consumption will do nothing but continue to drop as we work our way through the stages here. So, and away with you. We are decelerating again, but not too bad. Barely dipped below 130 meters a second, just by the skin of our teeth. But we are at our 12, almost at 12. When we hit 12 here, we're going to start doing our gravity turn a little bit. Alright, so we've passed 12. I'm not going to do a sharp gravity turn like I did last time. That would be a mistake with this current craft. It's too heavy. I need a very efficient gravity turn, as efficient as is possible. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to lock it right there for now. Just a little bit of a gravity turn. And we can check and see our surface here. We're traveling about 300. Yeah, it's not much. So 200 meters a second coming up off of the surface. We're about ready to dump another stage here. I'm not sure how I feel about this. This is going to be a very close orbit if I even actually manage to make orbit. Fortunately, again, this thing is an engine, so it can power itself into orbit. We will have to transport more fuel up to the station in the long run, but oh well. Alright, so we dumped those off and didn't actually see a decrease in speed. We stopped for a second, stopped accelerating, but we didn't ever begin losing speed. So my faith is briefly and ever so slightly restored in this craft. I'm going to continue my gravity turn at this location. I'll bring it over a little bit more, but I want to be careful about bringing it over too far too early, because again, this is taking a while to get up into orbit and we're not exactly going very fast. Alright, so we're going to lock it in right there. Where are we on the other side, wrong side of the planet? You can see the debris that we've got. We've got a lot of debris that's going to wind up landing on the planet here eventually. Pretty soon, actually. Our burn is still functioning. We're actually having trouble maintaining our rotation. Again, that's another symptom of having a triple stack. It causes the math in Kerbal Space Program to go a little bit wonky. Alright, now, are we draining out of these tanks? No, we are not. What about this one? No, we are not. Alright, well, what I want to do is I actually want to lock these two tanks here, because I'm fairly certain that this Rockomax decoupler will have a crossfeed issue, and we don't want to do that. We want to leave these two tanks full while this one and the one below it drains. Where did our ball go? There we go. Alright, so as you can see, our apoapsis is still ascending. It's only just barely managed to make it out of the atmosphere. So as much as I would like to begin simply pushing straight towards acceleration here, I kind of can't afford to. We're ready to dump off some more engines, and away they go. We are now relying entirely upon our final stage. Now, this is a bit of a problem because we are beginning to decelerate again. We need to accelerate here, or we are not going to make orbit. So I'm gonna actually come over here, and if you would stop rotating, that would be great, you know. Can you stop rotating, please? No, you can't. Okay, so we're just gonna lock it in here. I'm going to kick on the additional nuclear motors here because we are in space now, so their efficiency is very high. I'm also going to kick on the secondary nuclear motors here because we need to accelerate now, or we are not going to make it. And we have got a shit ton of fuels here sitting in the back of this thing on this stack here that is not being used. these engines are burning it far too slowly, and that's okay. So if I use these nuclear engines to accelerate myself to an orbit here, I can refuel them from this fuel stack back here because it's just not burning away quickly enough. So let's use the nuclear engines here. We've got to establish orbit. Burn, baby, burn. We're accelerating fairly reasonably here. Our orbit, our apoapsis is climbing quite nicely. So this is going to work out to my advantage. It looks like these guys are burning directly from these fuel tanks, so burning them is going to be a bit awkward. I should have added fuel lines. Oh my god, I should have added fuel lines to them. They're not properly drawing their fuel from the central tank. Crap. That's almost enough to make me want to start over. Damn. Almost. Not quite. Alright, so burning the nuclear engines like this really doesn't bother me if I'm completely honest. Again, this fuel tank, I'm burning practically no fuel running these, and burning them has allowed me to begin accelerating again up out of the orbit. Alright, so that should be good. Let's kick those off. And now I'm going to have to go through the arduous process of filling all of these little tanks. Oops. I'm gonna have to fill all the tanks here. Alright, right click, out. Oh, no, in. Smooth! Wrong direction. You know what? No. End flight. End flight. I'm sorry, but we're definitely not going to be getting to a docking procedure in this, but I can't do that. That is unacceptable. That will cause me so many problems in the long run. Having to sit here and constantly shuffle fuel around just to burn extra engines? Come on, man. No. Just no. So, I need some fuel lines here. Just some standard fuel ducts. And they need to go... that's not going to work. We'll put them out here then. From here to there. And then same thing on the other side, right about there to right about there. Okay, that'll do it. That will transfer fuel, and I forgot symmetry. I forgot the bloody symmetry. Okay, come on. Symmetry. From here to about there, and then from there to there. Okay. There we go. Now all the fuel will pull from this central tank before anything else. Good. Now, is there anything else that I want to adjust upon this thing before I do anything? I don't think so. I'm fairly certain I am happy with this setup as it is. Wait a minute. No, actually, my brain has given me a few points. Has made a few points. Let's take off these struts here. They're going to have to go away here for just a moment. This thing was capable of getting quite high, and then the central fuel stack wound up not burning properly. I mean, literally, it was just too much weight. Too much. I was wasting so much, and I was burning almost nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to detach... No, I need to detach from here. So detach you. And we're going to take off this and our decoupler. And these two fuel tanks are going to go away. And instead we're going to put you there with the decoupler like so. And then like that. Okay, so that should reduce our weight enough that we actually accelerate for the entire thing. There should be no points of deceleration if I'm lucky. Now, where is this decoupler? That decoupler is... Again, that decoupler is in the appropriate location. So removing it, not removing it from the hanger while I was adjusting it has allowed it to keep its exact stability. Alright, so we've got our advanced... Is there any other tweaks that I want to make for this thing? I don't think so. having these extra engines all sitting on the hotkeys 1 and 2 should be sufficient for my needs. Save and launch. Alright, so let's try this one last time. I do believe that this should do it. This should be able to get into orbit and then dock with the station fairly well. Now that I'm not afraid to use those nuclear engines up in the higher atmosphere, because I'm going to have excess fuel when I get there anyway. So yeah, no worries. So that's less weight, that's less dead weight, and we've got the appropriate fuel. Ooh, squishy, squishy, squishy. I forgot struts. Dang it. And flight vehicle assembly building. Space case, you're forgetting important components. Yeah, I am. Okay, try this again. Make sure we kick on the derpy symmetry that always turns itself off whenever you get into the vehicle assembly building and then doesn't figure out what's going on. From there up to here. And then from here to there. Now, I know that it's not doing me a great amount, but just killing off 3/4 of that squishy bounce that happens when it first pops open just makes me feel so much better. Yeah, it does. It really does. Okay. And better. Much better. Alright. Maximum throttle. SAS engaged. Now remember, we've got reduced weight here. So, launch. Now, with the reduced weight, hopefully this will actually be a better takeoff here. We shouldn't see any points where we are losing speed. Because that was a pretty good amount of weight that we cut off. Interesting how removing weight can actually... How removing fuel tanks can actually improve the capabilities of your rocket. Isn't that just entertaining? I think it is. I think it's very entertaining. Alright, so the next set that's going to be dropping off is the 2 outside ones here. So let's see when they kick off, we can dump them. Not doing too shabby here. Away you go. And now that was actually a speed loss right there. That was a speed loss. But we're back to accelerating long before we got to the middle point, which was right about there. Did I break something again? I may have... No, they're burning. No, those central rockets are definitely burning. Alright, away with you. Are we losing speed? We are losing speed again. Okay, so we are still going to lose some speed here, but as you can see, it was a heck of a lot less than we saw the first time around, by almost 10 meters a second on just that stage alone. And in the long run, that's going to equal a heck of a lot more acceleration when we get up higher. So, burning, 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 as usual, continuing to flow. I don't know. Oh, you better make it into orbit after all the crap I've gone through here, tweaking your setup and redoing it and everything. This is going to be the last one for this episode. We'll get this into orbit, and then we'll have to wait till next time to see the docking procedure. Oh joy! An episode full of docking procedures! I am so evil. Okay, and away with you. Again, seeing loss of speed, but did not even dip below 143. Much better than we saw last time. And that means, of course, that we're a lot higher than we were last time, too. So, we are almost to our point of 12, which means I'm going to begin our gravity turn. And as you can see, I'm beginning my gravity turn much earlier this time. In fact, a whole fuel tank earlier, if I'm completely honest. Alright. Yeah, here we are, just checking my hard drive here. Ah, nice and wonderful 10 FPS. Don't you guys just love watching the Kerbal space program? Alright, so, oh, There was one thing I wanted to ask you guys. I've received a couple of people asking for tutorials and instructional videos on this game. Is there any actual demand for that? I mean, I know a few shortcuts, like Control Z is the all-important and useful undo, and then X is your symmetry, C is your snap to angles. You can Control click on something to copy it. You can Alt click on something to grab the whole spacecraft and move it around like you grabbed the command module. Things like that. But how open would you guys be to me starting a series, in addition to this Kerbal series, where I just went through and I dispensed every ounce of knowledge that I have with regards to the Kerbal space program? Alright, so how are we doing here? We're doing a lot better than we were last time. 33 meters. Yeah, we're doing a heck of a lot better than we were last time. So we're about 30,000 meters up, burning really good here. Almost 400 meters a second. What's our orbital velocity at? Our orbital velocity is already at 500. We're doing so much better than last time, it's not even funny. Actually, it's kind of funny. Okay, maybe a little funny. Whatever. Alright, so now we are a little bit off kilter here. It looks like I locked in the SAS at a funny angle here, so I'm going to descend below the line here and try to drag my orbit down a little bit, because that is going to come into effect later. That will affect my ability to dock with the station. So if we can line that back up with the equator, that would be awesome. Alright, so as you can see, now that we've been reduced to the 3 sets of engines here, we're getting some spin on the craft. Again, that is a symptom of the triple, of using a 3 symmetry. 3 symmetry just causes funny things to happen in math. That's just how it is. That's how it will always be. As long as we use base 10 math, triple symmetry is going to be funny, because 0.333 repeating infinitely does not compute properly. It just doesn't. You can't tell a program infinity. It will lock up. It doesn't work, man. Alright, so we are about ready to get rid of... Alright, and now these guys go away, and again we begin our deceleration. Now, I'm going to kick on all of the engines here, and that is all of them. And they begin drawing from this central tank? No, are they drawing from this one? They're drawing from this one. Wait a minute. They're drawing out of this tank first, instead of drawing out of this one. Oh, that is awesome. So this tank is basically providing with these 3 up by itself. It did that on purpose. It did that without me having to tell it. How wonderful. Okay, so we have actually got our orbit back to a circular, or back on the orientation we want here. So how are we doing? 160 kilometers. Okay, so we're going to get out to a good peak here. This is good. That is a lot of rockets burning. I'm going to back off here a little bit, because that is loud. Alright, so this is now officially a space candle. Yeah, there's a lot of fuel burning here right now. So, we're going to keep doing that for a little while. Keep it burning, keep it burning. 200 meters. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so normally I would begin switching over and start trying to follow that bubble there to accelerate my orbit, but it looks like this thing is actually going to make it into space with, back off, is actually going to make it up into space with enough fuel that I can afford to waste a little bit pushing the apsis all the way out to something near the what will it be. And I have decided on a name, but you guys are going to have to wait until the next one before I actually name it, because that'll be during the docking procedure. Because I can. Because I can. I'm going to make you wait 3 whole episodes before I will actually name it. I'm actually going to waste a bit of fuel here pushing the apoapsis all the way out to here. So that the fuel tank, when I drop it off, is going to actually dump itself back into the atmosphere without me having to screw around with it. That's a good thing. It makes me happy. I do enjoy that. you know, not leaving debris in space like I have been, just dumping it all over the place. Although, it looks like we are about ready to run out of fuel in the Rockomax Jumbo fuel tank. So it's a very good thing I brought the extra fuel tank here. And it's not exactly doing great either. And actually, on that note, I think I'm going to make a slight change in my plans. Kill off all of the engines here like so. Now I'm going to transfer all of the remaining fuel and oxidizer out of this tank and into this one. Not a huge amount remaining in it, but that brings us back up to 3/4 of a tank on this one. Now we're going to, obviously the SAS can be shut off. You're not even doing anything anymore. And whoa! Wow, holy crap, those things left with some force. Jesus. Alright, so this piece of debris here will now re-enter the Kerbal orbit. And we're going to add a maneuver here. Add maneuver to establish an orbit here. And hopefully we actually have enough fuel for that within the tiny little tank. Or well, it's not a very tiny little tank, is it? It's actually a pretty dang big tank. I hope so. I know we've got tons of fuel sitting on this thing, and there's extra fuel actually sitting up on the station, just kind of waiting for me to get there, and I can consume it before I send something home. But yeah. Alright, so our craft is really far off. Why are you facing all the way over there? Can I get it to correct? No, I cannot. It's a good thing I included extra monopropellant here, because it looks like I'm going to have to use it to orient the craft. However, I brought twice as much monopropellant as I did last time, and it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong RCS here. So we're going to bring it up to here. Oh, right. We don't want direction of travel. We want direction of burn. Not direction of travel. Direction of burn. So, come on, almost there. Slow it down a little bit. Almost there. Alright, gonna lock the SAS in on that. Whoa, what are you doing, SAS? Stop that. Alright, come on, come on. Alright, now if I click on the SAS now, what does it do? There it is. That's what we wanted to see. Okay, now I can turn off the RCS, right? And you will keep it oriented right there? Good. Good. Okay, so now we have to do a test burn here to establish exactly how long it's going to take, because I'm fairly certain that a minute 30 is not correct. So up to maximum thrust here, kick it off, and yes, okay, 3:26 is the adjusted time for how long it's going to take for us to perform that burn. So let us accelerate time here a little bit. Got to turn off the SAS. Accelerate time here a little bit until we get to about 2 minutes. Right there. That's good. SAS on again. And begin burning. Now, hopefully this is not going to drain this tank in 3 minutes. Although it might. Am I really going to have to activate the RCS to keep on a straight course here? It looks like I'm going to have to use RCS monopropellant to keep on a straight course here. That is disappointing. That is disappointing. Okay, so we're going to just have to burn here for a little bit. Unfortunately, that means that the craft is a bit unbalanced, but that may simply be because I got the Rockomax fuel tanks sitting there in the back. They're pretty big bastards. Okay, so I'm not going through monopropellant too fast here, and the fuel tank is really not carrying. I should be able to achieve the 3-minute burn on this excess fuel tank hanging out here in the back. We are seeing some heat build up but we are at maximum thrust here, and I don't think it's going to climb any higher. I'm assuming that the reason that there's heat buildup is because the small nuclear engines are actually outside, and their flames are affecting the bigger engines. But oddly enough, the bigger engines actually have less heat at this point. Go figure. So we're down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're halfway through our burn, and nowhere near halfway through the fuel on this Max tank. So we should have a good bit left over for maneuvers for us to attempt to get to the station. Now, I really do not like that I'm using monopropellant here. I'm going to try turning it off again. Can I fly this thing manually? Will it manually adjust? I don't think these nuclear engines have gimbal. In fact, I'm about 90% certain that they don't. Yeah, okay, definitely don't have gimbal here, so... right now, I appear to be capable of flying with the SAS as long as I'm very, very careful with it. But that is a good thing because it indicates that while I thought the balance was off, it's actually better than I expected. Alright. Come on. Right down here. Stabilize. SAS, please stabilize me. Good. Okay. I'm going to shut it off again and keep burning. We've got 40 seconds left. We're gonna hit about a third of a tank here left on this extra tank, yeah? This is good. 30 more seconds on this burn to get an orbit. Excuse me. Orbit. RCS on again. Drag it back towards the center. I know that it's trying to tell me to burn funny, but I don't want to burn it funny because I want to be as straight as possible. I'm kind of using this opportunity to straighten my orbit out a little bit, which is why it's complaining. Okay, so we have definitely achieved orbit by this point. And there we go. Okay, close enough. And we've still got a good bit of fuel hanging out in the back of this tank here. That's less than a third. Closer to a quarter. But that's okay. I can live with that. Alright, so let's remove this maneuver here. And we have established a pretty respectable orbit. There's a lot of debris that crosses it, as usual. This debris obviously concerns me because the station actually crosses it as well. But there we go. Thank you for watching for this episode. We've got a shit ton of debris here that's going to go crashing into the station here in a bit. Or into the planet here in a bit. There's probably... Nope. It looks like while I was burning, all that other debris actually made it back to Kerbal. Good. Alright, so join me for the next episode where we will dock the engine module with our new station, and depending upon how much fuel we have excess hiding out on the station, I know we have some, we may do a few small test burns to see how the craft handles in order to get out beyond these sets of debris here. Their current altitude looks like it'll be about 1.6. And this thing is 1.5, so we're going to want to push it out to about a 1.7 altitude, 1.7 million meters. Because I obviously don't want it crashing into things. That would be bad. That would be very bad. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Sorry that took a lot of tweaking to get this thing into orbit, but I am at least reasonably satisfied with what I managed to pull off here. So, I will see you next time.